Hey guys, how we doing today?
Afternoon, everyone.
Joe here.
Kevin.
All right, we're into season 5 of The Americans. A lot of interesting dynamics going on right now, especially with Stan and Paige and Matthew.
Right, that's going to be a mess.
Yeah,
It's going to be a big complicating factor at some point.
sure. Oleg's back in Russia, which I think is also very interesting as well. I want to see what the angle is there.
It's going to be disillusionment for him at some point, right?
For sure.
Possibly, if he finds out his own family's involved in some misdoings, maybe just comes to realize that his job, that the Soviet government itself is a complete mess, right? Because
Yes.
he is out of the States and now part of that bureaucracy and part of. I mean, he's a KGB officer.
He is.
Maybe he realizes comes to the point, like what we're doing isn't okay.
I don't like this.
Yeah, but I think there is some disillusionment coming for him.
Somebody asked, they were like, his dad's in charge of what again? It's trains?
Yeah, he was something transportation.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. So yeah, I'm sure we'll get more of his father in this. Also, it's interesting that we got in the last episode. We started off with people waiting in line for bread,
right? Yeah, for sure.
and we saw Oleg's family eating so well.
Right.
Knowing Oleg, he's a rather progressive guy, sort of. He's still a KGB officer, but
he's not stupid though.
He's not stupid, and I think that he's going to see the difference. And obviously, living in America for so long, he's going to see that it's messed up.
Well, I think part of the problem is his boss told him, people are eating really well, but the problem is because there's so much corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if corruption is what some people are eating well and some people aren't, then his family's probably corrupt if they're doing so well.
For sure.
But obviously no idea. We'll see.
For sure.
All right, we're going to jump into it, guys. We do want to thank everyone for being here with us and give a special thanks to our Patreon subscribers. Give a special shout out to Actuarial Lurker, Balas Foldes, Chris, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Suryagunda Varapu, Weird Magic, and Ford Gear Linkstad. Thanks so much, guys. We're really, really happy here with us.
We really are. And if you guys are watching us for the first time on YouTube, welcome to our channel. If you might hit the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we have coming your way.
If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, please check out the link in the description below to our Patreon page. On every show, including The Americans, we're at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon of where we're on YouTube. So if you get done watching the YouTube edits here, would like to keep going, you can do it there. You will have to sync and watch along on your own source material. You're only going to see us for copyright purposes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot.
Oh yeah, the
chunk of leg.
The chunk of leg they took.
Everything all right?
No.
Hans cut his hand on the
I'm very sorry.
Are you? I mean,
I was thinking the same thing.
I think William would have liked us getting the virus sample off his body.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
If they're doing something to it, contaminating shipments, we don't know exactly what. People will starve.
Seems like people are starving.
They are.
Going after people's food? I thought they were things they wouldn't do.
I'm not going to They didn't. They don't poison a country.
I really doubt that's what they're doing. It seems like a bit of a stretch, right?
They're not. They didn't.
Yeah. Oh, what page?
If she's out with Matthew this late at night, she's going to be in some trouble.
If she's over there, what if Stan had to call us? Or
if something happened, anything, and we're not here at this hour.
Yeah,
that's true.
What? Paige, what are you doing in there?
Nightmares, man. She's struggling.
I feel safer in there.
I couldn't sleep. Sometimes
PTSD.
For sure. She probably feels safe in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you realize what you're doing to your kid?
What sucks is they can't put her in therapy because she can't be open.
She literally has to live with her trauma.
Yeah, I mean, really.
I did like that line, though, of Philip to Gabriel being like, I'm sure he'd have loved us taking it from his body.
You're right.
Yeah, he's literally turning in his brain going that way.
Yeah.
Hey! Hey. So I saw her again.
Oh, yeah, the gym lady.
Yeah. We exchanged pleasantries, that's something.
You gotta declare, Stan.
I know.
You have to declare it.
What does she do?
I don't know.
You didn't ask. You didn't ask her what she did. She asked him. That's funny.
What do you do? I'm an FBI agent. Well, bye.
Yeah. He's such a dad. He really...
Want another lesson? Now?
Yeah, do it.
If it helps.
Nothing closer?
No. But maybe with this Paige stuff, they'll at least consider it. We'll see.
Maybe.
How old is Paige now, her character?
Like 15, 16, maybe.
Well, if he's looking at college now, he's at least
like 17, 18. A 2-year difference here.
I just noticed she seems... I don't know. Is she okay?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just teenage stuff, but sometimes I get the feeling that maybe everything's not all right in Pageland.
Yeah, he's an FBI agent. He's going to pick up on that stuff.
Always takes things seriously. And this is her first boyfriend.
Right. No, I get it. I didn't mean to worry you.
No.
Well, it's gonna make him more suspicious, probably. No, he's gonna be like, you have to be so nice around him.
Right.
I'm not surprised they make up a lie where he was like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can't tell, obviously, that, like, Philip, or that Elizabeth and Paige got into a fight with that guy. You'd be like, they were mugged. It freaked her out.
Sure.
How long's it gonna be before she slips, Philip?
I don't know. But she's over there all the time.
Well, then it's just suspicious if you pull her out.
Right.
I don't think the answer is stop going over there. I think it's just.
I think it's a huge leap to get to my parents are spies. You know,
a huge leap. Yeah. It'd be a million things she'd be going through.
Yeah.
Anything you can give us about how you gained his confidence? Anything we can tell our officers in Moscow?
They're going to try to turn him there.
Well, we always want to use a more positive approach. But if it's all we got, we can go with the tape you made of him admitting their defector was actually KGB.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
So they're going to threaten him to burn him?
For sure. Blackmail.
I just don't think you're listening.
Yeah. I'm going to stand on this.
Instead of going after a guy who gave us the tip of the century and then went home to live his life.
Thank you, Stan.
Yeah. It's complicated, too. Obviously, it was the Nina thing.
Right.
And, yeah, he was smart enough to see these bioweapons are dangerous. Like, They should not be over in Soviet Union.
You have a self-destructive streak, Agent Beeman.
I'm telling you because I went behind my boss's back before.
And you didn't feel good about it. Thank you for informing me.
Dan's going to actually risk his neck to help Oleg.
Yeah. Good for you, Stan.
Yeah.
Thank you for agreeing to see me, sir. I'm always happy to make time for you, Agent Beeman.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to go well.
Probably not.
I don't think anyone has the sympathy that Beeman has for him.
Yeah, they're like, we don't care.
Yeah, I don't care about your buddy.
Yeah.
Burov gave us information that let us capture William Crandall and stop the Soviets from stealing a deadly virus from one of our labs.
No, it didn't really matter.
That's true. They still got it, but yeah.
The payoff was huge. That said, regardless of what you or I think should or should not have been done, that's all water under the bridge.
It's the CIA's call now.
For sure.
I sympathize. I truly do. But as I said, it's out of my hands.
And also, that's all the way true. I mean, like, I don't know.
It is a CIA's call
Sure.
when it's outside the United States.
It does suck, though. I mean, like,
No,
look,
it does.
I don't know. Say you're pay that kind of situation is awful.
Do you think Stan does anything to warn him or something?
I wonder. It's been a while since he's done some stuff like that.
Yeah. It would not be unprecedented of him, though.
No, it wouldn't. And I wouldn't blame him, honestly.
It would be something kind of unprecedented to get away with. Like, surprise, we poisoned a whole country full of people.
Even if it did happen 40 years ago, that would have come out.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's not something you can hide doing. That's no different than dropping a bomb on somebody.
For sure. And maybe I'm naive, but I would really hope we didn't do anything like that. You know what I mean? That would be,
I mean, obviously it didn't happen because it's 2024 and it didn't happen.
Yeah. It would be barbaric.
Yeah.
Flies or bees or something.
What if this isn't a bioweapon of the grain, but of the insect? That she got bitten by something dangerous?
Oh my god, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Well, they just zoomed in on the bug bite.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, it's the insect.
She's getting it. Yeah, and she's already kind of feeling it. I think it's time to leave, Elizabeth.
Yeah, get out of the room.
She drinks beer. She loves sports. She knows more about sports than you, actually.
Huh?
It was like being out with the female version of you.
Oh, hey, Stan.
Oh, I recognize her.
Yeah. She was in Walking Dead.
Yeah, she was, yeah. Andrea.
Andrea.
Yeah.
I had a great time the other night.
So did I.
So you want to,
Yep.
great.
Well, I got to shower and get to work. Nice meeting you, Philip.
You too.
See ya.
How does she play into this mess? Because she's going to.
Yeah. What if she's an agent too? She's working
Someone else working Stan from somewhere else.
That would suck for Stan.
Yeah. Unless Phillips has to figure it out for him.
Yeah.
Don't look at me, keep walking. Stan Beeman sent me. We need to talk in private.
Okay, if
that was actually him helping out, but I don't think it was.
Yeah, if they're gonna blackmail to use Stan's name,
Right.
that sucks.
They're going to meet with him right there in Moscow.
Bold. Yeah.
Not in a good way.
Just when I thought I was out. Mm-hmm.
Is everybody sick there?
That's a nice
There's a lot
touch,
of
yeah.
coughing, yeah.
Buffets, yeah,
Yeah.
they'd be like, buffets are gross.
They are. I loved them when I was a kid, but now I'm like,
I've not eaten a
I don't
buffet
like
in
community
years.
food. Yeah.
No.
I used to work at one, and people were gross.
Yeah.
Take the big spoon and try something and put it back.
Ew!
Yeah,
Who would be bold enough?
always old people.
It's not a crime. You order new food. You want fish? Eat fish. You want steak? Have steak. Have two if you want.
This poor kid. This looks miserable.
Our schedule is always changing, different nights, different days.
So it's hard to make time for a real family dinner.
I do like that he can appreciate it, though.
Yeah.
We do take it for granted.
Yep.
We really do.
15 years. For what? For murder? No. For stealing? No. Just for being alive. That's what they put you in prison for.
Yeah, they're done with it. Like, we get it.
I bet his wife and son are tired of you yet.
He said he understood, but it's the CIA. They're going to do what they're going to do.
Side of the job.
I hate how both sides just excuse away terrible things and saying, "Yeah, it's all part of it." I couldn't do this work.
No. You have a conscience, yeah.
Right.
We can't stop you from seeing him, but we can help you manage things.
Okay, good. This is actually good.
How are you going to handle things then?
You have to think about that. I know you don't want to hurt us.
Just stick to the old story.
Yeah.
I'll stop seeing him, okay?
Paige, listen.
I'll just be alone for the rest of my life. Would that make you feel better?
That's what they're saying.
There's something we can show you. A technique
This would be awkward.
to help you keep your emotions in check. To help you stay in control.
So yes, that's fair.
Do you want us to show you?
Okay.
I'm curious myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Sit down.
Almost like they're going to teach her like interrogation techniques or something, or withstanding.
Rub your thumb and your forefinger together. And picture me and your father.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm too. Yeah.
It's just a little thing, but if you practice, it'll always be there for you.
What if that's real? Like just a grounding
I
technique.
want to try that now.
Yeah.
I want to be under stress and do that. It's kind of like, I've been to therapy before, and my therapist is like, if you ever feel overwhelmed or like stressed, if you run cold water over your wrists, that also is supposed to like calm you down a little bit. So it's an interesting technique. I'm sure that does have some sort of it does work. Cool, good episode. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah. By the way, there's a 0% chance that Stan's involved in anything to do with what they're doing to Oleg right there.
Yeah.
They're just going to make it sound like he is.
Which sucks.
Well, and Oleg may not buy it either. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, because, I mean, like, they've spent a lot of time together.
Right.
But also, being on the outside like that, you don't have a lot of context. Maybe I'm sure he'll question it. Like, did Stan do this?
Right.
You know?
I mean, he has no leverage over Stan back because Stan came clean about everything, including really embarrassing stuff for Stan. He came clean. So I don't know what the benefit of Oleg knowing or not versus not knowing for the purposes of the show, if Stan's involved or not. But I still think there's a chance that Stan's involved in somehow figuring out how to help Oleg.
Yeah.
I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility.
Oh, of course. And I do want to see what that's going to be. I want to see where this goes, or like, too. How far do they get along with that?
Right.
What leverage do they have with him? I mean, obviously, something with his parents.
Yeah.
You know, his dad. They're already in Moscow. We saw that scene where they're starting to be suspicious of his father over something. I don't know what it is. So a lot going on this season. Also, the whole dynamic of them having another family this season.
Right.
Crazy.
It is.
It is pretty wild. I love the scene in the car where he's like, it's dumb to say I'd rather die back home. We have all this abundance here.
Yeah, well, because he does. That kid apparently doesn't really know the suffering. I mean, he was in the Soviet Union, but I don't know what their circumstances were.
I feel like they were higher up living.
They had to be,
more
right?
like Oleg's dad.
Because he's not. Because the dad seems to have a much better perspective as far as we've gone from something bad to something better. I don't think that's unfair to say.
It's not unfair to say.
Even Philip and Elizabeth have acknowledged, this is They have so much here. This is a better life than we had in the Soviet Union. I mean, obviously they made a point of showing this, right?
Yeah.
The poverty and the bread lines.
It was
stuff.
a striking image to see that in the first.
Yeah, right. Yeah, to open up with that, things are not going great in the Soviet Union. So the idea of romanticizing that is flawed, right? They want us to know that we aren't talking about equal footing here.
As viewers, we have a perspective of both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really smart. I did like. I'm sorry, I didn't like that. The bugs, though. I'm curious to see what purpose that's going to play into all of this.
Oh, it's going to be big.
Right?
Yeah, that's going to be big.
Does she have a disease now? Like, because she was getting bit up by those bugs. Were they just there to show like they're killing the crops? Like,
Right.
I'm intrigued by that.
It might be a situation of the bugs are designed to kill the crops but not hurt people.
Okay.
And they're going to figure that out, right? Like, it's a bioweapon that is innocuous to people, but it is dangerous to your food supply.
Because it looked like when she walked in, she was walking past dead.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they were all dead when she walked in, for sure.
And so, like, okay, that might be the point.
It might, yeah.
The bugs are eating them, so maybe they are doing some sort of tampering.
At least killing them.
It's a contingency. They could like, we're not doing this, but we could do this. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's been a million bioweapons made by the United States that never got used.
Sure. So it's scary to think that, and of course it's going to escalate things, and I'm sure it's going to come down to the wire, and they're going to have to make a decision.
Yeah, exactly. Are we going to make the right one this time? Because I don't really feel like we did on that last virus.
And I think they know that too.
Right.
Philip's line about like, I'm sure he'd love that. You know.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, let's see how far they get pushed this season.
Right. I feel like everyone who's been involved in this, you go back to season 1 and everyone's rah about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oleg, Stan, Philip, Elizabeth. And now we get into season 5 and they're like, boy, none of this is really cracked up to be what we thought it was.
For sure.
There's a real collateral cost and a real disgusting aspect to it.
Yeah. It took 5 seasons for them to get there.
Right.
But
I'm glad we're getting there.
It's an emotional journey for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we'll catch you next one, guys. See ya.